Okay. Let's see.
Is
And
Mumsy joining us?
I don't know. I told her that I'll tell her we're already on. Let's see. We're on time. We're actually on time. Okay. Let's see. Um, so update on my microphone.
Hmm.
So I had a Zoom meeting the other morning and I like tried it again and it didn't work. And so then today, since I had a bit of extra time, I was actually Googling myself and trying to figure out what was wrong with it. And I kept seeing everywhere that it's called like 48-volt phantom power. And I was like, what is phantom power? So I Google that. So phantom
Hmm.
power is basically you need either like a soundboard or an amp or something. And the phantom power comes out of that to make your microphone
Hmm.
work. So the microphones that work for computers are called dynamic microphones. And
Yes.
but Eddie said he's just gonna get me a little soundboard because he said that's what he uses for his microphone. He didn't know that it wouldn't go straight to the computer, so he didn't
Ah.
realize the phantom power thing. But I'm like, at least I'm not crazy. Like, it won't
Yeah,
work.
I know. Should work if it's built for it, but
Right.
then, of course, professional soundboards and what have you runs. Back in the day when I used to build computer, in fact, I don't know why I'm put you over there. I can't
Yeah.
seem to find a background with AI. It just doesn't want to work.
Oh, yeah. I haven't
So
changed mine in a minute. Let's see what I got.
there we go. I'm going
Oh, whoops! I didn't
inside.
mean to blur it. That's boring. Where's my
Okay.
background?
So back in the day when I like mine, like this.
Yeah, yours is cool.
Back So back in the day when I used to build computers, we used to build everything like, okay, I want a motherboard, I want a sound card, I want a graphics card, I want a
Right.
network card, I want a modem card, and eventually all you were doing was putting an extra card onto the motherboard. Today,
Oh, okay.
so a lot of the difference is that, in fact, you used to even have a video graphics card and a
Hmm.
monitor. Used to be different ones that you plug in all the time. And of course, all these things used to work. You just plug them straight in
Right.
because. And I
Hmm.
remember my computer back at home in the UK, I had, is it 7? 5.1. You know the surround sound you get for your
Hmm.
TV?
Yeah.
I had one for my computer.
Oh, nice.
And when you think about it, it's like, oh yeah, it does work. But
Right.
today you buy a computer, you got to remember the computers are like that high
Well,
and
right. Right.
wide. Today we buy them that big.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
You can't get all those things into there. But things do get smaller.
Right.
But of course, obviously, when you buy an add-on for your computer, we quite often forget to think, oh, does it need a special card to go in the computer, or can I just plug it straight in?
Right. Right. Yeah, yeah, because
Yeah.
it said that it didn't need any special, software or whatever. Like, it acted like it's just plug and go. It's like, but it's not.
Go
So,
with it. Yeah.
yeah. Um, so I have listened to two Royally Obsessed episodes.
Hmm.
Or no, sorry, that I forgot that podcast is defunct. The Royal
Oh,
Report, Royal Report
Lord.
with Jack Royston.
Okay.
Um, and so I've got notes, and so first of all, I guess is there any news that you know of before I go through my news of the
N-
Royals?
Nothing important comes to mind at the moment, apart from Prince William went to, I think, Cornwall and was
Oh,
making Cornish pasties,
that's
and he actually picked up the phone.
that's awesome. That would
Yeah.
be really fun to be the person who called in for that.
Yes. And I think they were going to collect it, but by the time they collected it, he'd already gone.
Oh,
So yeah, he
right.
actually some Cornish pasties, took an order, and and evidently the one that he took home um, didn't make it back to Windsor Castle. Yeah, he's
He ate it
they've
all the
old.
way. That's funny. Well, that's cute. Well, that's news I don't have. So good job. Because that's probably too new, or might be too new for it to show up on the podcast. Um,
True.
but okay, so uh Jack Royston had on one of the episodes, he had uh a royal author named Russell Myers who just put out a new royal biography called William and Catherine. I guess it was it's been out in stores in the UK for a few weeks, and I think it like just released over in the US maybe on the 10th or something. Um, but so okay, so I'll tell you what the three things are that I've got. So his book, and then about how Prince Harry's doesn't answer questions about Andrew, and about Meghan Markle's brand going global. So
Well, she's
uh
kind of global anyhow.
but she doesn't ship global. That's the thing. Like,
Ah,
yeah. So, let's see. So they said, let's see. Oh, and also, yeah. So like, it ends up being Megan has split from Netflix as ever. Is split from Netflix officially. Uh,
okay.
and Beatrice and Eugenie are starting to maybe get into trouble uh via the Epstein files.
Mhm.
So, um, so with the book, the Catherine and William, or William and Catherine book, what I thought was interesting was he was talking about how invested the Princess of Wales, Catherine, is in the future of the monarchy. So he said, like, he kept talking to people, and like it just kept coming up about people talking about how like what a strategizer she is, and how she's invested, into the detail of the royal foundation and the future of the monarchy. So she's very like hands-on princess. And they both want to change the culture, uh, creating like of the palace, the firm, the way that everybody works with them. They want to create more of a corporate like structure, uh, so that way people are kind of more accountable, and it's not like you just have everybody has their own private secretary trying to do everything for you, right? And it's kind of like have different people doing different things. So I felt like that made sense. I feel like that's a good idea to get things. I mean, I guess it's also kind of modernizing it, right? Like
Yeah, I guess so.
having little
Um,
departments.
but again, it's also it depends, isn't it? If the captain of your organization or your ship
Right.
isn't the greatest, the rest of the departments might
True.
not really work that well. And as we know, she's not the easiest of person to please.
Megan.
So
Or you
yeah,
mean Kate? Yeah, okay. Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Megan
Okay.
isn't.
Yes.
So when you think about that, trying to grow that better as an organization, and this is, I think, this is not just this is a problem with a lot of small business
Hmm.
owners. Like, okay, let's take we all know that you do tea parties
Hmm.
and talk a lot about types of teas and flavors and all that. So that's your authority, that's your expertise.
Right.
Now, let's roll this forward 5 years.
Yeah.
You're now running almost an afternoon tea party every day of the week.
Right.
You're doing three events on Saturday, two events
Right.
on Sunday. You got 4,000 pieces of crockery all done up, eight specially blended teas just for
Right.
you.
Right.
You look at it, yeah, I
Great.
want it,
Sure.
bring it on.
Yeah, but
But
that's a lot
can
to
you manage
manage.
all that?
Yeah, that's a lot
Exactly.
to manage. Well,
So,
uh,
who are you going to employ to
right.
do this?
Uh, yeah. Well, you have to find. I mean, yeah. I don't know how I will find like the right people. I just need Nancy here,
Hmm.
and then we'll find other tea ladies.
There is that about it. Yeah. Okay. So, one of the things you're going to have to think about is, well, if you've got staff now,
Hmm.
do you? still curate and purchase the crockery and keep the
Right.
theme going and design the parties, or are you now going to manage staff? Because you're going to need staff.
Right.
You've now got an HR department to run. You've got to think about salaries.
Right.
You have to think about how people's attitudes in the workplace are. So we've got a whole new concept which you've not even thought about. Now, all of a sudden, you've got five staff. We've now got to think about the bills to pay, all the other things. So we
Right.
now need an accountant in there.
Right. Oh yes. Yes,
Uh,
yes.
As the business owner, these are sort of rules that will come onto you. Now you've got to think of marketing strategy.
Yeah.
But your strength is curating tea parties and getting blends and what have you.
Right.
So are you going to employ somebody to do what you do that you really enjoy and move up through the
Right.
hierarchy? Or somebody who can actually do those jobs
Do the
efficiently?
market. Yeah, yeah. Well, okay. So first I'm gonna say
You don't have to answer it, but that's the biggest
oh no,
problem that
no, that's okay. I was saying so this specifically, they were talking about running the palace like this. So Megan's not there anymore, so they don't have to worry about Megan sucking as a
yeah,
boss.
yeah,
Her own companies have to worry about that. But William and Catherine have like created such a culture already that like is nice and welcoming and whatever, right? Like their staff are very pleased with them. So I think
yeah,
he can run it well. Plus, it's not the exact same. It's basically just trying to say, like, you don't just have your own personal assistant doing everything. Like, what, yeah, spread it, delegate it, like, spread it out to the people,
yes,
like you said, who are like better at this and like can focus on this or whatever. Um,
yeah,
and then maybe you don't get Prince Andrews misbehaving if they only
yes.
have like one private secretary that's like telling them, yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, 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 do whatever you want. Um, so
Hmm.
so there's so there's that to it. Um, so yeah, so I think that is smart. Later on, they end up talking about uh Megan and like when she was marrying into the family, how they were saying like I guess when they had the talk with them about like you're going to be the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, and it's sort of like this is normal, right? Like William and
Hmm.
Kate became Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, all this, and they said it wasn't of all the reports that the guy gets, the author, he's like, it's not as much that she was, or that Megan was excited. It was more like you don't have to tell me twice that I have more power now and I'm in charge. It was like
Yeah.
so. So I think uh she's yeah a tougher boss, and I think
Mm.
she probably saw it as well. These people work for me, and it's like yes, but it's not. It is not an actual company, right? Like it is
Yeah.
unique. So it's like so you don't want to just treat. I mean, you shouldn't treat employees like that anyway. But like it's not
True.
your average company. Um, and you want these people to be happy and loyal but they're just saying that like yeah, like any company, if you're a bully of a boss, like you're gonna have a higher turnover rate. It's like we kind of saw that at the palace, we see it with her own company, like you
Yeah.
know
Hmm.
um so yeah, so
Yeah.
there's that.
So exactly, it's having people who you can trust to do the
Right,
job, or you micromanage people. And if you start micromanaging, that's when things tend to get a little bit ugly and unhappy
right,
departments and staff and the whole thing. And then you think, well, they were picking on me. It's your own attitude. It's the way that you deal with people. And that's always what, if you think about it, I'm just thinking of a friend of mine who used to be accountant. I don't know if he was the accounting, but he was accounting manager in DHL here in Brazil.
right.
We're not talking no more than, let's say, 10, 15 years, I would say. 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Years. He then got promoted to like uh, director, vice president, I don't know if he's president. Now, those roles change depending on location. So he started off here in Brazil, then he went and lived in Mexico, lived
Yeah.
in the US, came back to Brazil, and now he lives in England.
Oh my gosh.
And he's a,
Nice.
you know, a director of whatever it is now. They've got multiple directors at different
Sure,
levels.
sure.
That's a lot of movement of going up through
Hmm.
the chain. Why? Because he's a very nice, amicable person,
Right. Hmm.
talks to staff. So everyone that works under him says, "Oh, he's such a nice guy, he's pleasant, and all the rest of it." But that's not the only thing that gets things done
Right.
because it
Right.
just being nice doesn't get you promoted. You've got to do a job well. But that helps because he doesn't get complaints from staff. He doesn't get staff leaving. He comes in and then says, "Right, everybody, we're going to change all this and do all this." And usually that's where confrontation. But he
Hmm.
does it in a way. "Oh, okay, we'll take it on." And
Hmm.
when you take these bosses that come in to new places, especially if you've got to work in different countries, you're going to change it. So therefore, its operations are like the last place that was successful. So now you can replicate that and put it into another
Right.
location. That's what your superiors want you to do is make it more efficient,
Right.
which means change.
Right.
What, what Megan's doing in her sense is it's like, oh, I've been promoted. So now I set the rules, I set the tone, and I demand what I want it to do. Even if you're not experienced in it, you demand, you don't educate.
Right.
Because you've never been in a position of control before.
Right. And that's so real quick, hold on. Mumsy is having trouble finding us. Let's see if she found us yet. Let's see.
I'm
Find us.
here, Mandy.
Well, she said
Look
she
over here.
found, I know she said she thinks she's watching a Valentine's episode. So because we must have the hearts in the background. So uh yes. So what were we saying? Oh yeah, yeah. So like being nice, like I imagine that William and Catherine, just based on how they kind of act out in the world and the public eye, it's like that's probably how they're very similar behind closed doors as far as dealing with staff or other people, right? So I think it's probably very much like, you know, a lot of please and thank yous, or maybe especially like, I appreciate it, whatever, like if you can do this, if you have time, whatever, right? Like probably very nice about it. Whereas Megan is more just like straight to the point. And Harry, what I imagine is that he's so blinded by his love for Megan that he can't
Hmm.
see how the way that she talks to everybody else is different. Or he probably thinks like, yeah, that's fine. So she had made a comment on her
Hmm.
archetypes podcast that she had
Hmm.
that as far as about like the bullying allegations in the UK and stuff, uh she said that in her opinion, if she were a man, no one would have said anything about it. It would, that's fine, but it's because she's a woman. My argument to that is, yeah, but not in the palace. Like
I would
the
think I'd
men,
agree with you on that.
yeah, I was like in a normal workplace, probably.
Hmm.
But like in the palace
Yeah,
workplace, not the same.
no, you move in as a position of hierarchy.
Right,
So I don't think the gender is the same gender call that you can make in a corporate world, because in the
right,
corporate world, you can say that because there's going to be nepotism, there's sexism really prevalent in all
right,
workplaces, even it might not be
right,
allowed to be there,
right,
it will be there. When it comes to the palace as such, it's like you're not going to be promoted. Well, you will if somebody dies, but
right,
you're here to understand protocol
right,
and the way things are done. So you have to learn to adapt.
right,
There's nothing about whether you're a man or a female at that point. And I would like to believe doesn't matter in age, and it doesn't matter about skin color either.
Right.
Now, the British are very good at calling things out as we see it.
Hmm.
Maybe we're sometimes we can be very polite about things, so we're not used to the abruptness
Sure.
of American style. Because I think there is a huge style between
Yes.
America and England when you meet people. It's like,
Yes.
oh, aren't they so polite? Oh, I can listen to them all day. But
Yeah.
then in America, you get to the point so much quicker.
Yeah. Hmm.
So as opposed positives, they are
Right.
positive ways of characteristics. And then I lost my train of thought.
Uh,
Oh, um,
how it
yes.
is with, yeah. Well, how the British are
Mm,
used to being talked to, probably as in the palace staff, right, by other British
yes.
people who
Hmm.
know what is going on, and then Megan's a complete outsider and an American, and wants to feel like she has her power or whatever, right? Like she
Hmm.
doesn't. So
Yes.
I think, yeah, it doesn't work well with that staff to.
Hmm.
And honestly, I was just thinking, I was like, so you could say that they work for you, but they don't exactly. It's almost like, I mean, I know it's not the government, but it's almost like you
Yeah.
get hired by this company, and like you're assigned to this other person who works for the company. So like the royals are working, right? They're
Yeah.
part of the company. They're
Hmm.
forced to be.
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
should they choose to accept their duty. So they, yeah, get assigned people. And uh in one of the earlier, I think like the first season or second season of The Crown, um maybe it was the first one, there was a whole thing about how when the queen became queen, she wanted her private secretary, who had been her private secretary as she was a princess, she wanted to
Hmm.
move him up, uh when the guy was retiring that had always been with her father.
Hmm.
But that guy was like, okay, so and so is in between us. He is naturally next up in line. Like, this will be a huge disruption if you bring up the guy you want to bring up. And like, of course, for part of the episode, she's like, all right, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. And then of course at the end, it's like she ends up with the guy she's supposed to have. So it's like you're not even necessarily exactly hiring, like, hiring your own person. And I'm sure it's not exactly like that anymore. But
Hmm.
uh yeah, it's like you're getting assigned who's working with you, not exactly for you. You're just sort of like
Yes.
the supervisor.
Hmm. But if
Right.
you think about it, you are not the employer. You're
Right.
right in that sense. You're not the employer. And a lot of the people are called, oh, this is the aide, i.e.,
Hmm.
the person who helps you.
Yes.
Now, if you think of an aide or as opposed to a servant, but we'll take that, but
Sure.
a maid is like maybe is the, you know, um, you think of that as somebody, but even maids are not really employees
Right.
because if you think of that old-fashioned concept of a maid, they're there all the time. Basically, their function was to aid and help you
Right.
to continue doing what you're supposed to do.
Hmm.
Now, somebody else would do the hiring and firing. They would pick that person to
Right.
help you, and they judge it on either personality, their skill level, their past history. That is done by somebody else. When they actually get presented to the Duke or the Duchess or the Princess or whoever it's
Right.
going to be, you're just basically told this is who's going to help you.
Right.
They're already trained to do the thing. So you suddenly come along and say, well, I don't want it done like that. That's not the way we do it here. Going to do it this way now.
Yeah. Right.
You can, I can say that for me being the British,
Sure.
and you for exactly the same way. We in America don't do it that way. When I come to Brazil, oh, us British don't do it like that.
Yeah.
We do it
Yeah.
like this.
Right.
So it's that is a human characteristic we have because we base it upon how we grew up in our in little
Right.
world.
Hmm.
If that's not how it's not done how we're used to, we
Right.
think that's alien. That's not the best way of doing it. No, it's custom. You get accustomed to that's the way it was done.
Right.
So you can hear what's going to come on. you suddenly move into the palace as an American,
Hmm.
understand some British, so you're entitled to be there, and you look and say, well, that's not how I want it done. And they look up and think, well, hang on, for the last 250 years,
Right,
this is the protocol we've had. I've been trained to do it this way. That is how it's done, not only
right,
for you, but it'll be done for all the other
right,
people that
right,
houses and palaces. It's all done as a standard
right,
practice. I don't care when it's my way.
right.
But like,
It's almost like as the royal, it's like if you could fill out a comment card and put it in the box, and we'll take your suggestion, like, your comments under
yes,
advisement. Like, we
yeah,
will talk about it and we'll see what we can change for you. Like,
hmm yeah.
we'll see if we
But
can
you can
tweak
hear,
it just a little bit, but we're not going to
yeah,
come all the way to your side.
we'll take your suggestions in mind and put it through careful consideration.
Yes, yes, exactly.
Uh, the staff between themselves, you can hear them saying, in the case of you, who the hell does she think she is?
Hmm.
You'd say that about you, you would say that about
Yeah,
me.
right,
It's a human, natural thing to do. Say, well, hang on, systems do this, she wants to
right,
do this.
right,
Think that she knows better.
right.
It's and this is the problem with employees, isn't it? When you go into a new job, we've done this for
Oh,
years
yeah,
like that. We can change it.
right.
We just,
Uh,
how do you 22 years old. I'm 42 years old.
right,
And grandparents have
right.
been doing this.
Which, so I got what you're saying, but your microphone cut in and out a little bit. But I was gonna say, the in all fairness, in a real company, or especially a smaller company kind of thing, a fresh pair of eyes as a new employee can be helpful, because sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know why we've been doing it this way. Don't like you, it's like you guys didn't know, you don't have to do this the hard way. like like there's this program, or if you use Excel a certain way,
Mhm.
it'll, organize all of this stuff so you're not manually doing it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I think a fresh pair of eyes can be helpful. Now in the palace, I don't think they want
Did you just change your speaker or something, or is it
me.
mine?
I
Yes.
think it's yours. Yeah, I didn't change anything. Can you not hear me?
Oh, I can hear
Or
you.
it sound
It's
weird?
just got, yeah, it's kind of like you drop from level 8 to level 4.
Oh,
Okay, let's try
okay.
that.
I don't know.
Yeah, I took off like noise cancelling, hoping that might
Yeah.
change the settings of my
Oh, I
microphone.
see.
But
Yeah.
now you sound like you're in a
Ooh.
different place totally.
Yeah. No, well, and I don't have my special microphone yet, so I'm just talking to the computer microphone.
Okay, let's see if I can. Well, it can't be that. Let's put you back to that one. Okay,
Mm.
try speaking now.
Testing, testing. How's this sound? Better or
You
worse?
haven't, well,
Or
the
same?
same. You haven't changed, but not as you were before. It hasn't.
Huh.
Still on the changed.
Strange.
Very
Okay.
weird.
Well, I can
Yeah.
I can hear you better if it makes a
Okay.
difference.
Well, I've changed. I've taken off the noise cancelling from the microphone,
Okay.
so I'm just
Did
using
you
my professional microphone, which is in front of
Sure.
me.
Did you
Um.
do that out of or in your Zoom settings? Uh
Yes.
okay. Oh wait, here, let me see. I can turn up my
Yeah.
input volume. Maybe. Uh let's see. Automatically adjust microphone volume, or I can do it. Is this any better?
Yes.
Okay. So, even better or too loud?
No, that was good. That's about the level you were just now,
Okay. All right. That's
which is
86%.
why. Okay, which is why I was wondering, did you change?
I didn't,
Did
but
my
yeah, I don't know what happened.
my
But it said
volume
it was
came down?
automatically adjusting. So there's a chance that, I don't know, if it hears the kids playing outside. I don't know what how it works.
Maybe. And mine is
Um,
set to 50.
oh,
So
okay. That's so yeah, so there's lots to talk about, I guess, about the company stuff, but I wanted to
hmm,
say also, they mentioned how the rift between Harry and William had started, like the cracks were showing way before Meghan came along.
Right.
So it pointed out, like, I mean, and Harry even talked about some of it in his book, but it's like, William wanted to have the military as his, he wanted to have Africa as his. He
Mhm.
felt that like Harry couldn't get involved. And like the let's see, the military explanation was that he was going to be commander in chief. And obviously Harry didn't take it well.
Mm.
Um, but I feel like that's silly too, because they do point out it's like lots of royal family members have represented the military, and it's like if you're gonna be commander in chief or whatever, like support your brother, but also like he was fought in combat, like and
Yeah.
he was allowed to fight in combat, right? It's like
Yeah.
you can't be like, well, now you can't have it. It's mine.
Yeah, you see, also, I think what Harry negates to think of or
Mm-hmm.
portray this in whatever. Remember last week we were talking about Charles when he inherited everything from the Queen when she
Yes.
passed.
Right. Mm-hmm.
The I'm not saying it's the rites of passage. I'm trying to think what it is. By association, this is how it should be, and that's how I understand it
Right.
is. He's the eldest son.
Right.
Now, if you're the eldest son, that comes with the not premonition, I'm trying to think of the word now, comes with the concept that
Yeah,
you know that you're entitled to have this.
that's true.
And he's going to be the next one in command. So if he wants to take the military and be the commander in chief,
Right.
then he has the right to do that. You, as the second oldest son,
Right.
remember, second,
Yes, yes.
you pick up what's next available that
Right.
you want to do.
Right. What's
You can't
left?
always pick, yeah,
Yeah. That's true. And like they talk about how part of, it's like there's sibling rivalry naturally with siblings usually, but
yeah,
with
hmm
them, they're also being brought up as literally the heir and the spare. And they're like, that's a problem, and not just the British monarchy, like in every monarchy, like that doesn't
yes.
turn out well usually. Or there's
hmm
just a lot of uh, you know, I guess trouble or difficulties. So
Human
uh
nature, jealousy's got to come in, hasn't it?
right, right. So I guess
It's a
even when
whole,
oh,
sorry,
go ahead.
I was going to say, if you think about it, it's a whole lifetime of being put in position two. There is never a chance for me to shine to be the best because I'm only getting
Right,
the second sitting of everything. And I think
right.
that's a human nature. Whereas instead of, let's take you and your brother, your brother's older, yes?
Yes. A few years older. Mhm.
Right. So, he was the elder, so he get to do what he wanted to do. But there were some things like, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. And you became equally as good at what
Right,
you wanted to do of the things that he didn't want to do.
right, right.
You still had your rivalry between the two of you, but all of a sudden you find out, oh, there's another side over here I can focus on, which I can excel at because he didn't want to.
Right, right.
Now, because they're both boys, I think with boy and girl, it's a lot easier
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
distinguish that. You had the younger second,
Right.
but you also got well, you're the girl, so therefore,
Hmm.
so you kind of have a double impact. But
Right.
did you not find that you found areas that you could succeed at that he didn't want to?
Yes. Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I
And that's what Harry's
yeah.
failing to do, isn't it? Or most of them fail to do that.
Well, that's true. So they were saying that like basically, they were being trained like as they're, coming into their adolescence, that they were thinking
Mm,
about uh two different, so basically it's like the path was like destiny, everything's laid out for William, right?
hmm
And then Harry, it's kind of like, oh, like find something to do, get on with it. Like, it's sort of like, so William has his purpose given to him, and then
Yeah.
Harry is like not even an afterthought because they're not even like coming up with something for him, right? It's just
hmm
like figure it
True.
out. um
That's an
but
advantage, though.
I know that's what I was
William
gonna
gets told what
say.
Yeah.
William could be upset that he doesn't get to choose, right? Like,
Hmm.
so it's always like the grass is greener, right, on the other side. So,
Yeah.
um, but they were also saying like, that no one, I guess, really explain other than Kate. I guess Kate saw the rift coming even before Megan and would try to say to William, like, don't fall out with your brother. like, sort of like, we need him as like the palace, but all, or, the institution, but also
Mm.
he's your brother. And like Kate's family is very close knit. She's close to their brother and sister and stuff. So
Mm.
it's very much that she sort of like saw it coming. But they said also it seemed like nobody wanted to, you know, explain to William or give him a thought that, like, yes, technically you're in charge of the military, but like he's your brother. And it will also look really good as commander in chief if you're supporting your brother in the military, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's a better
Hmm.
commander in chief position.
Yes.
But like, nobody really had that talk with him.
No.
So,
And also, if you think about this, Diane wanted to have the children to have more of a normal life of
right,
growing up as kids as possible. Now, at the point when they were young, able to form an opinion,
right,
she'd already divorced from Charles. So now they have another dynamic in there, and it's easy to suddenly spoil the children a little bit
right.
more
Mm-hmm.
because the other parent isn't there. Not it, despite the fact that they're in an organization
Sure,
which even Diane didn't really understand how it worked. Charles partially knew, but he'd been in it more of his life and being trained for that position
sure.
than anybody else. There was nobody else trained as long as he's been
No.
trained
Right,
to be
right,
the second in command
right,
as such. As children, where other kings and queens of countries, they don't get the chance to have that amount of training. So
mm-hmm.
anybody that they theoretically marry might be associated to the family and have they know the the etiquettes and the rules of what royal families are
Right,
about. So the training, in one sense, is less because they've already got that background already
right.
bred into them from birth. In the case of Meghan being the commoner,
Yeah,
they had to start at ground zero to understand what she did or did not know.
right, right.
And because that wasn't Americanized enough for her, there would be natural resistance. It's like, hang on, I've lived for all these years like this, and now all of a sudden you come along, just you and your freaking family, saying, I can't stand like this, or I have to wait to be spoken to.
Right, right,
I haven't done that in 20, 30 years, and now I
right.
got to think about that and consider all the other things like which teaspoon am I going to use?
Yeah,
Egg spoon? Dessert spoon? Which one of these little spoons have I got to use first? You know? Uh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
who
And
said I can't?
it's like you're the new employee. Like, you need to learn what the rules are or what the processes
Yeah.
are, especially before you're ready to change it. Like, let it be, like,
Mm,
get settled in.
yeah.
And then maybe you can like build a rapport with them, and then maybe you can start like getting things tweaked, the right way.
Tweaked. Yes, I like
Yes,
that. Tweaked. It's not
yes,
change. You tweak it as you go.
yeah,
So I think that's where Harry and Meghan both have the same
mm-hmm.
mindset of we can't be who we are. We can't
Yes,
make our own decisions. And now they have the power to do that.
yes. And it's,
Good.
yeah, it's very much my way or the highway. And like
Hmm.
Harry's on board. Like, they talked about how, like, you know how Harry just never handles things the right way. Like, a lot of times it's just like
Hmm.
he just didn't go about it the right way. And they talked about like how Harry was saying, that like they were basically forced out of the royal family. So they said that like that's not true. There were people working like real hard around the clock trying to come up with
Hmm.
other ideas. It was like, do you
Hmm.
guys want to go work over in Canada? do you want to go live and work in Africa, right? Like, you don't even have to be
Yeah.
here working royal. Like, where can we put you? Like, that will keep you part of us. And they're like,
Yeah.
they won't take us. They won't let us be
Yeah.
ourselves.
hmm Yeah, it's like young couples, isn't it, when they first get together?
Uh-huh.
What do you want to do? We want to be together. That's all we want to do. We just want to be together. Wearing matching coats of the same
Right,
color and
right.
all, it's like,
Yes.
okay. Um, and that's what I mean. I didn't know they'd offered them that, but I couldn't
Yeah,
believe
I didn't know either
to
until
think
this.
that
Yeah. Hmm.
that no family, no matter who it is, wants them out of the family. Then maybe a family member say, okay, I've fallen out with you.
Right.
Okay, let's take you and your brother. You and your brother could have the biggest upset ever in the whole family.
Hmm.
You may not talk to each other for, let's say, 5, 10, 20 years.
Yeah.
May not even see each other. But you would learn to be sociable when you had to go to, let's say, Mother's Day or Father's Day or their anniversary,
Right.
or maybe there's a Christmas and you say, okay, I'm going to turn up a little bit late because I know my brother gets here early in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave early. Um, you would make it work for the other people.
Right. Right.
And, that is the difference. It's like, it's family, I have to do this. Now,
Right.
come on, royal family, still family. We don't want you into the family. The only time I think you really get cast out
Yeah.
is like Andrew, isn't it?
Yeah. And
When
that takes
you've done
forever
something.
to, and takes forever to get you cast out for that. Like,
Yeah. Not like,
uh,
oh, here's your 4 weeks notice. Bye bye.
right. Right. Well, so that's what, so Harry, so I think, you know me, I've tried to stay neutral
hmm
enough on Harry and Meghan. I still am trying to, but I am seeing more of like where it just feels like they are so self-centered
hmm
because like Harry, they talk about in his book. Well, okay, so first this was a good thing that they did. So they went over, I think I mentioned they went over to Jordan and like saw refugees of Gaza. I found out they went to the other side too. They saw Syrian refugees. So sort of like they saw,
Mm.
people from both sides of the war. Um,
Yeah.
and he was doing like 2 days of press or something. And like, I guess in the final interview with someone, the reporter opened up by saying, like, okay, now you've asked us not to ask you about your uncle Andrew because it
Mm.
will distract from this important cause or whatever. And so then they
Yeah.
move on. So Jack Royston picked up on that and was like, hold up, like,
Mm.
yes, what you're doing is very important. It is. He's like, but also like if you bring up Andrew, that's not a distraction. And also, like, you're part of the British royal family, like directly linked to
Mhm.
it. You're not directly linked to the
Yeah.
war. um,
Yeah.
and so it was like, and in his book in Spare, he only referenced it by saying, like, Meghan asked one night, you don't think they'll ever pull our security, do you? And uh, and Harry said, never, not in this climate of hate and not after what happened to my mother. And then he also said, also not in the wake of my uncle Andrew. He was embroiled in a shameful scandal accused of sexual assault of a young woman, and no one had so much as suggested that he lose his security.
Mm.
So Jack Royston's issue with this that he points out
Mm.
is one, it's very much he's not saying that even Andrew should keep his security, right? He's like whatever, but it's very much
Mm.
he doesn't do what the rest of the royal family is doing, where in like every statement relating to it they acknowledge like the victims. They are like,
Mhm.
all the victims of Epstein. You don't even have to say of
Yeah.
Andrew. It's just like it's related. So like we our hearts go out to whatever you're say.
Yeah.
And again, it's very self-centered where it's like, what's going to happen to our security? It's like, well, even like my, sleazebag uncle
Yeah.
security. And like, and then he won't comment on it in an interview. And it's sort of like, all he has to do is just say, I agree with what my father's doing, or something like what the king is
Mm,
deciding to do, right? Like you don't have to come up
yeah,
with a new thing, just back him up and be like, yes, I think absolutely like they're doing the right thing. Like I agree,
yeah,
whatever, right?
yeah. I have no power over the decision. But you
Mhm.
know, if the king thinks this is the right thing, then we would go along with it. You know, it's probably a wise move to reduce the amount of public appearance for
Right.
my uncle. That's it. You know, I think it might be wise. That's not saying that he should. That's agreeing with the actions.
Right.
That in itself is a huge statement and showing support.
Yeah.
That's the thing. He doesn't want to show support for anybody there.
Mm-mm.
Um, and showing support, I just saw something that King Charles is to wash his hands of the Sussexes because he said he's to wash his hands of Prince Harry and Meghan Markle mainly because you've got they're planning this trip to Australia.
Uh-huh.
So the spokesman said they will visit there for private business and philanthropical things.
Hmm.
Because they want to promote themselves and
Yes.
need a high profile to make money.
Hmm.
So the king is like, he has more important things to worry about amid the fallout of Andrew,
Yeah.
arrest and what have you. So the
Just
physical thing is that you're not the most important thing that I need to be talking about. There are other
yeah.
things in this
Right.
country and the
Right.
family to deal with.
Right.
Um, and if you don't want to be part of us,
Right.
I haven't got time to come and visit you and talk to you about
Right.
coming back because
Right.
you keep throwing us all under the bus.
Right. Right. Yeah. Yeah. And so yeah, they mentioned the Australia trip because they were saying
Yeah.
like how they wonder if they're gonna see if maybe she can sell some of her products there or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they made a point. So she lost her. Well, they you know PR said that they
Yeah.
mutually parted ways, Megan and Netflix. Um,
Hmm.
but let's see. This is after let's see, the Spotify thing with them went sour. It ended with the Spotify executive calling them grifters. They did one 12-part series of archetypes on Spotify and then it fell apart. And then, some of other Megan's projects, The Bench, the children's book, I don't know about these, uh, were there was a lot of noise about them when they came out, and then like it didn't. So they're like, so it didn't launch her into a career as a children's author. And he
Yeah.
said like their strongest connection is like basically the royal family. That's what gives them the most leverage. And
Yeah.
that and what I thought was interesting, they said that and a kind of symbolism of Princess Diana and her life. So it's like somehow that like because she's Diana's son, I guess, right? And like
Mm.
all the trauma and stuff, it's sort of like we're still interested, but they're like, what do we do with this? So, or with you guys, like they talk about how it's like we want Americans, it's like we want to get behind somebody, but we don't know
Yeah.
what you are. So it's like, are you
Yeah.
the as ever brand? Are you jams and stuff? And like she made some comment about how like, they decided to mutually part, but she also had like a little dig in there about how like now she won't be held back and she can do like more things with her company or whatever. And it's like Netflix
Yeah.
is a big monster. Like don't act like you're above like that Netflix was some
Mm.
horrible boss. Like they've been very good to you. Like
Oh yeah.
yeah,
You think that they pay them millions to do it, and
yeah,
I don't know if they have to pay. I don't know if they paid in advance, but
right,
usually these people do get paid a
yeah,
lot in advance to spend time to so they can produce it.
right. And they even invested into
Now,
the As Ever brand. They invested in her like
yeah.
product line.
Hmm.
So yeah.
And to keep giving a dig that we're better, because if you think about this, Andrew,
Hmm.
what has he done to everybody else in the family that Harry has done? Well, the answer is very little. He
Hmm.
has not thrown anybody in the royal family under the bus. All he's done is disgraced himself,
Right,
disgraced the family name in a huge way. Now,
right,
the degree of what Andrew is supposedly done, because it's
right,
still not proven, so we can't say that he is
sure,
guilty of this,
right,
but he has brought disgrace to the family name.
right,
By
right,
bringing disgrace to the family name, he's lost all his royal entitlements.
right.
Consequence of, well, you go out in public and you do public things, then if it doesn't look well and the general public support
Right,
us and you go against them, yeah, you will lose
right.
your noble
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All your
status.
right, right.
Harry decided to step down from that, but still wants to make money from it. And the only way he can do that by being associated is by coming up with all our secret dirty
I know.
laundry to wash out in public.
Yeah. So that's what, and like, so with Megan, they were saying it's almost like if she can just figure out what it is that she wants to be, because it's like one week she's in
Mhm,
Paris being like this fashion icon, and then the next week she's like supposed to be a Martha Stewart on TV. Like,
mhm, yeah,
and they brought up that she's like now in, and like they've added wine to the collection, and they're like, but there's no like personality of Megan, which you pointed out on the website, right? Like there's not one picture
yeah.
of her. It doesn't feel like
Mhm,
her. They talked about her old blog that she had, the TIG, when she was an actress, and
mhm.
like how that had her personality all over it. She's running it, right? Like it felt authentic, and they're like,
Yeah.
this just feels like a random thing. They're like, and she never talks about why she loves wine, how she got into wine. So they brought up Kylie Minogue,
Mm,
that she apparently has a wine business. She's sold like 25 million bottles or something. I don't know how long she's been in business, but they said what she does is she like has a passion for it, and like she
mhm,
brings bottles in her tote bag everywhere she goes. So like whenever she goes to a restaurant, she's essentially trying to get them to taste it so that they'll carry her
mhm.
wine. So she's like
Yeah.
always on business, and they're like, Megan's not, because I don't think she has figured out maybe what her passion is besides acting. And I guess I don't know if she just
Yeah.
doesn't want to they said she's coming out in like a cameo role, something in some movie this year, so we'll see. I don't know what that is, but
Really?
I know,
Gosh, that doesn't inspire me to go and see the movie now,
I know. Well,
just
I
because
guess
of a
I'll say
cameo
I don't,
role.
yeah, well, I don't mean like playing herself, but like that she is
No.
yeah, 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 some character,
Yeah,
yeah.
just gonna
But
like, oh, okay, it's her. I'll go to the movie if I like it, not because it's her.
oh, right, 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 yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
just
what I
like
mean.
it's
Yeah.
sort of like, is she just dipping her toe in because she's like sort of thinking about getting back at, like,
Maybe, or just because she's still good friends with some of the directors and say, hey, I need to make a bit of money. Can you give me a little role
yeah,
somewhere?
right, right,
It help to it. My presence will help your movie hit the box office
right,
supreme
right, right.
sales.
So,
Because of my name.
right. So the one
Again,
guy,
she's
oh, sorry,
selling
go
her
ahead.
name, isn't she? I think again, it's just selling her name to be
Yeah,
recognized, as opposed to, like you say, here is something I believe in,
right.
whether it's philanthropic, whether it's for a business. Now, you say the storybook, everything that she's doing or done, it's just copying everybody else.
Hmm.
They've already done it. Sarah Ferguson
Yeah, she was great.
wrote books,
Hmm.
you know.
Yeah, she had a
And
lot of
I think this is
success.
they're a great couple to, like, if they're modeling themselves on a couple, they are, because they're
Right,
all in freaking disgrace, but at least they managed to carve out something which nobody else had really been doing.
right, right.
Now, guaranteed changes happen in the world, we all modernize. I Am I right? But did Kate write a book as well? Has she done something like that?
I I don't think she wrote a book. She somehow created, like during the pandemic, I think it was like a
Hmm.
book of photos where it was like people
Right.
submitted photos.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. So she
Yeah.
created, so
Okay.
she's very creative. They talk about how she
Mm.
adds a lot to like the arts side of things
Yeah.
in the palace, right? So because William's very much
Mm.
for homelessness and earth, earth shot, like environmental.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
Kate is, yeah, more involved in the arts and stuff. So it's a nice balance.
So, okay, so we got the common thing that there is a book, but by definition, it's a huge contrast to what Sarah had done.
Yes, it is.
It's a book. Okay, there's only so many books you can
Sure.
produce, but if the theme is different,
Yeah.
but did Megan write a cookbook? No.
No.
She did a what? A children's book, evidently,
Right. Which I think
of
came
which
well
somebody else.
before the cooking show. Like I think all that
Yeah.
was even yeah, so it's like she tries one thing for a second, it doesn't automatically hit, and then she moves to the next thing. It's like you got to find something and like at least stick with it for a little bit before you
But you don't
decide it's
hear
not
her
going to work.
advertising it.
I
You
know, I
know,
didn't
I
know.
remember.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Sarah Ferguson being interviewed
Yeah,
or being on TV talking about her book.
right. And Megan
Now,
was like only an interview on that one girl's podcast, and it was a huge deal that someone got to have an interview with Megan, right? She's not
mhm,
around, she's not making the rounds
yeah,
of publicity for her wine or her books.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um, how would you expect to market a personal brand? Let's come back to you. How would you expect to market your curated tea blends
right,
if you don't go around and put your face to it?
right.
If you asked me to sell your curated things and market it, I could
Hmm.
do relatively well.
Right,
But until I get you to turn up and talk to somebody about it and demonstrate it,
right,
my job is 10 times harder than it really needs to be.
right,
Which, if you're not going to talk about it, then does that mean you really believe in it? I want to see your passion for tea and
right,
hear about it and tell me a story, an interesting fact, like, oh, that's interesting. You know what? She brought some value
right,
there. I'll try tea. I don't drink tea, but I'll try it
right.
because it's you. People
Yes,
build relationships with businesses, and
yes.
generally that business has a face or a
Hmm.
voice,
Yes. And
and
she's
they're doing
all over the
they're
place.
basically trying. What she's trying to do is trying to be a mini Amazon. I have X amount of products and services
Right.
available because my name is Amazon. You can buy
Yeah.
it from me. Because my name is Meghan Markle, you can buy it from me because I've endorsed it. No,
Yeah, that's
doesn't
what
quite
they
work the same way.
yeah, they were talking about how it's like if you like one of her hampers, gift hampers, it's like
Hmm.
you get a candle and a bookmark and a jam and a honey or whatever. And like he said it's something like 170 pounds or whatever, or $170.
Hmm.
And he's like, you could you if you wanted to spend that money on such like sort of a novelty thing, he's like, you most likely better like especially over there it's like, well, you're just going to go to Fortnum and Mason or Harrods. Like if you want to spend that money on those kinds of things, it's like she
Hmm.
doesn't have the status, I guess, exactly. Like she's in a way she's a curiosity, so they're saying like you might get a lot of first time orders, but it's the repeat business that she needs to be establishing, right?
Yeah.
Like people are, or just people who want to collect, want one of her things to just as a collection, collectible thing.
Hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. Uh, I don't. As you know, I would say I'm in the marketing business.
Yeah.
I'm more into about building the relationship for the
Yeah.
business, building a presence for them, but also trying to make sure that you're accommodating not only to people in one sense for disabilities, but accommodating people in general to
Right.
like you, to see your service, to see your product. And if you are the name of your product and service, and it has to be you there. You've
Hmm.
got to put your photo there. You've got to have your
Right.
voice out there because I can't be Amy. I can
Right.
speak somewhat on your behalf, but
Right.
I can't replace you. I can't be you to market it with, you're not a Coca-Cola.
Right.
My product
Right.
stands there. There's no face to it.
Right.
But when Coca-Cola first started, it had a face.
Hmm.
They all did.
Yeah,
Because it all
yeah.
started small, like
Right,
Starbucks.
right.
Starbucks had a phase because the people would listen to the people that would go and make their coffee and ground. Then he made one shop, two shops, and all of a sudden it became
Hmm.
faceless, became a
Right,
brand name, and then
right,
it just splattered all over the world.
right,
Megan's trying to splatter herself all over the world without having a face to start with, so
right.
nobody can
She's
connect to
not,
it.
yeah, she's not setting up any proper foundation of any business.
Hmm.
And you're right, like she needs to be out there if she wants to be Megan Sussex instead of Meghan Markle. It's like
Yeah.
as she claims she is, she needs to at least show us, well, then who is Megan Sussex, right? Like
Hmm.
not on your
Yeah.
show, but like go around do interviews. One of the guys Jack Royson talked to actually made a comment how he's like he has a theory that basically the public sees celebrities as like fictional characters, and we want our fictional
Hmm.
characters, we want to see them, their journey, and see them change on like the other side. So they're like,
Yeah.
if she did some kind of, not like a bad reality show, but if she did, I don't know, she did something where she like climbs a mountain or climbs some whatever, they're saying
Yeah.
like it gets to a point where like you're so exhausted that like your true self comes out anyway. So like their whole
Hmm.
point was like, let us see you, because the one guy who was talking said he knew Megan at one time, and like he said, yeah, she's the loveliest person. He's like, but you're not seeing her. She's not showing you like
Hmm.
herself. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Whereas Harry's happy to make publicity rounds. Like, he goes
Hmm.
on the different night shows for just fun. Like,
Yeah. So at
you
least
know,
you get to see a little bit of him and like,
yeah,
oh, okay, that's
we
interesting.
feel like we get his personality. Like he's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It
He's
takes time,
playful.
but it's how it works.
Right. And you live
Now, if
there in
he was
L
to
you live
give,
there anyway. Like I don't know how far Montecito is from LA, but it's like you live there anyway.
yeah, I was going to say not that far away, is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like that's yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. I will say I do have to go because I have to get
Mm,
Piper to her dad's, but
sure. Yeah.
uh I made a note where we left off. So
Mm,
because yeah, it's like there's way too much going on that I pulled
yeah.
from the yeah. And I
We
didn't
we
even
we
pull
we
all of it.
dwelled we
Yes.
dwelled a little bit on parts, but
Yeah. But I think that was good. It was
good.
yeah, it
Excellent.
went
Yeah, it
well.
was
Yeah. So yes. So I think that was great. What are you doing this weekend?
uh gonna try and catch up on some work. I think I'm always
Mhm.
going to be working, to be honest with you.
Right.
Uh Chinese Formula One.
Oh,
So that's gone ahead
that's
despite
cool.
the efforts of the war in the Middle East.
Gotcha.
Um,
I didn't know that was affecting Formula One.
well, it affects a lot of logistics because you can't
Oh,
fly over certain territory.
oh, gotcha.
So yeah, so it has to be like go around the opposite way around the world to get there. So it kind of impacts. I think
Beautiful.
people were saying that some people were traveling 48 hours to get to Australia because they couldn't take the direct route through Dubai.
Oh my
So they
gosh.
had to go other ways. And of course, if you think about it, you take out
Yeah.
20 flights, or say 20 routes going through the Middle East. Now, all of a sudden, if that was like for 5 days, there's 10,000 people just suddenly
Right.
can't get, they're all going around the other routes. Like, oh.
Right. Right. Wow.
So yeah, we don't realize how one thing in one area can impact the rest of the world on
Right.
other things.
Right.
Um, I think that's about it. Katya's been out all day, so she's probably not going to want to do much. I think she's
Hmm.
going to do some study. My neighbors from Orlando just arrived in
Oh
Brazil
yes.
today.
Lovely.
So, which
Yes, because
probably
I know
means
not
that
next
next
week.
week,
Yeah, not next week. I know we're not meeting next week.
yes. So next week we're not going to talk about Meghan very much,
Sure.
or Andrew, or King
Right.
Charles,
But
or Tea,
I'll
or
just
me.
add, I know, I'll just add more to the list for the
Yeah.
next time.
So I'm going to be seeing them Thursday a little bit during the day because Katya has her classes to do because she started to do some more learning and what have you.
Oh,
And then
okay.
we're going to go out more on Friday so we can have an evening meal with them before they go home
Oh,
on the
okay.
Saturday or the Sunday, I think it is.
Oh, nice.
Um, so yeah, just nice to kind of catch up. And if I
Absolutely.
thought about it, I know they don't watch it. I should have asked them to bring me something in their suitcase from the US that I can't get here,
Oh,
but I
right.
didn't plan on it. I didn't plan it that well.
Oh, what would you ask for? Do you
Oh, I
have
was
some?
thinking that just literally like yesterday. Oh, bring me some American candy or some American sweets or
Oh,
something. I couldn't even think of that.
yeah.
I couldn't think of anything. I know what I do want.
What?
I want to get myself a new PlayStation 5. Well,
Oh.
I haven't got, I'm still on the old PlayStation 4. I think the Pro version is about $700 in the US. To give you
Hmm.
an idea, with that, starts off about 7,000 reais here, which will put it down to about, well, if you divide that by five into seven, so it's over 1,000. So it's about $1,200,
Oh, wow. Okay, gotcha. So it's way more.
which is, almost twice the price.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, but
So
if I'm going to
yeah.
buy it, I'm just going to buy the most expensive one and the
Hmm.
top of the one because I want the Pro version. Because one thing I have to think, getting into gaming here a little bit,
Yeah, that's what, yes,
because
yeah.
it's so hot, I
Hmm.
need the one that has the Pro version because I've read that it has a better cooling system, a
Oh,
stronger
okay.
fan. Because I'm sat here without air conditioning on,
Right.
like today, but it's 74 or 76 degrees.
Yeah,
I don't feel that I need the air conditioning on, but
right.
in Orlando for the moment, you're probably sat there with air conditioning on.
Yes, we are.
So the cool air going into the
Sure.
computer and all the other things
Right,
is going to be cooler than what I'm ambiently passing through my computer here as now.
right, right,
So those are always considerations of working in higher temperatures, which means you normally got to buy more expensive kit for
right.
that.
That makes sense. Yeah. Well, I'll have to tell Eddie the price of it in Brazil because he's been complaining about how they really jumped up, like hiked up the price for the new ones. He said he thinks that, yeah,
Yeah, I
that
think
it's
they're
out of
right. And
control.
I don't think they're going to be bringing out the PlayStation 6 for at least another 2 years.
Okay, gotcha.
I was expecting it to be maybe this year, maybe next. I've been holding to go from 4 to 6, but I've been reading it and there's
It's
nothing
not.
there, which means it's still a minimum of 18 months away
Okay, gotcha.
before the first one gets out. Well, that puts us to basically the end of 2027.
Right.
Depending on
So,
that timeline,
sure.
they would like it to be out by August. I
Hmm.
think they want the Christmas sales.
Oh,
So
right.
I think we've just literally passed that
Hmm.
timeline. So they'll
Right,
probably say, well, we'll go for 2028.
right, right. That makes sense. Yeah. So, yeah, so you might as well get it now. Don't wait for
Yeah,
six.
well, I would like to get it now, but if you're coming down to Brazil,
I know,
um,
right?
yeah, I'll cook dinner for you and
I'll
all the
work.
rest of it. But you
Thank
just have
you.
to bring a little bag, or even buy the little excess, the little
Yeah,
luggage
yeah, yeah,
case
right?
for it, so you can wheel it through as your hand luggage in the airport.
That's great. That's funny. Well, I gotta go and get Piper to Dave's, and then I'm just having
Hmm.
kind of a chill weekend, maybe a little bit of work here and there, but yeah, I think it's gonna be nice. I hope so. I mean, it's been sunny and
Um,
nice, so
yeah.
I don't think it's
So,
gonna change on us.
okay. Are you with
Uh
Eddie this weekend, or just seeing
I
him
am, yeah,
briefly?
I'm with Eddie. Some there might be storms this weekend. Uh
Yeah.
so whatever. But yeah, we're going to
Working
pick up
Netflix
a
then.
yeah, I know. Yeah, working Netflix. Yeah, I do. I need to catch up on the latest Bridgerton release. I haven't caught up on those. And
Do you
Eddie
mean I'm
doesn't
in
watch
front of
those
you?
with me. Huh?
You mean I'm in front of you on season 4?
Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, you are.
So,
You're ahead. Oh, okay.
yes. Okay. Can I give you a spoiler alert?
Sure, I don't care. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to give you too much about it.
Yeah.
So, when season 4 starts, and you'll see it straight away, I looked up to Katya, went, God, this seems so much like Cinderella.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh. I've
It
watched,
is.
yes, I've watched enough of it to know the Cinderella part of it. Yeah. I'm at the
Yeah.
part where now her, evil stepmom is gonna find out that she's back working nearby. That's that's the part I'm
Oh,
at.
okay. So you might be
That might be like
one
half
episode
one or
or
two
half an
episodes
episode in
in.
front.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I think we just saw the first two or the
Okay.
first three. So you're
Okay.
unless we're on the third one and I fell
I
asleep and we
think,
left it halfway.
yeah, yeah. I was saying because I think they've just been like teasing at it that like it's not
Yeah.
been found out yet, but she's gonna be found out kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Interesting story, but it's when in the first episode it was like I said to Katya, "Oh, this looks like just like going to be a Cinderella story,
right?
isn't it, this
Yeah,
season?"
it's
And then
ridiculous.
all of a sudden it's like
It,
they could have surprised us better.
right.
It was
They
like
just
it's a glove, it's not a shoe.
right, right. Well, and they found I know, but at least he gave up on it and like,
Yeah,
thought, oh, I found in love with this other person instead. It's not like Cinderella where
yeah.
he's like, yeah, here, this is the girl. Like
Hmm.
he didn't really find her, but and I like that she, yeah, gets upset initially where it's just like, you just think that like this is okay because you get to say it's okay, right? Like they're not on the
Yeah,
same level. But anyway, all right, we
yeah.
can't talk
Hmm.
Bridgerton.
Yes, you got to go. No, we can't. But that was it.
Okay.
That was my spoiler alert.
I love it. Okay, well, I'll talk to you